So I look plump in this camera with this on. Look at my t-shirt though. Well, my nightie. I can't even show you because I have hair, I have tubes, which I'm here to explain. It's Pennywise. Can you see? Ta-da! I wear it to bed, which I'm in. I thought before I was going to do a video, another review video, I should come on and explain my new friend on my face before I do anything else, because everybody will be like, wait, what do you have on your face? So back in September, so it's February, the end of February now. Back in September, my stomach stopped working. I have gastroparesis. I've got a bunch of other conditions, chronic illnesses. I have videos on them. If you look way back, I've done videos on them. This is a sort of new one. I had it a few years ago. It was borderline. I was really sick. I didn't get a feeding tube. I was just really, really sick. But now it's bad. It's really bad. So my stomach, due to gastroparesis, so gastroparesis means that your stomach is paralyzed. So your gastric system is paralyzed. Gastroparesis. Ta-da! Great for me. So I have that. That's great. So I went into hospital a few weeks ago because I was vomiting and I wasn't keeping food down. I couldn't, like, when I could eat the food, so the problem wasn't swallowing or getting it into my stomach, it was getting it from my stomach into my intestines, because the little butthole bit inside your stomach that passes the food on through to the intestines, bit of this, that isn't opening or doing anything that it's supposed to be doing. So the food was going in, sitting in my stomach for like 12 hours, and then I was sick. So I just felt sick all the time. It wasn't very nice. So I went into hospital last month, and I was in for 2 weeks, and I got this feeding tube. So this is a naso jejunal, is that how you pronounce it? NJ tube. So you get an NG tube, which are really common, and like most of the time if you see someone with a tube in their nose, it's probably an NG tube, which is a nasogastric tube. So an NG tube goes from your nose down into your stomach, and it supplies food that way. My one, however, is an NJ tube. So J for jejunum. Is that what it's called? A jejunum. Jejunal. Nasojejunal. I'm going to stop saying it because I don't like the word, because I can't say it. So a nasojejunal tube. So that means that my tube goes from my nose down my throat. You can see it like at the back of my throat. It's horrible. Goes right down into my stomach, passes through my stomach, out the little butthole bit, down into my small bowel, and it lives in there. So if this gets moved or yanked or anything, I have to go in and get an x-ray, which I had to do on Sunday because I was vomiting and my tube came out of my mouth. It just looked out my mouth, so it was like this, but hanging out of my mouth. So the end wasn't out because that was still in. So I had to go to hospital. I was there for 3 hours, which is quite good actually for the NHS. So 3 hours I was there. I got anti-sickness, I got an x-ray. They were like, you're okay, you can go home and do your feeds again. So at the moment, if you hear like a dee 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 dee, that's my feeding thing. That isn't my feeding thing, that's my twins. Next to it, there's my feeding bottle. It's like got formula in it with 1,000 calories, and that runs over 13 hours. So overnight, so it's running right now. So I'm stuck to this stupid big heavy contraption for 13 hours. So can you imagine getting up in the middle of the night for a pee and forgetting, and you like go to walk out the door and you're like yanked by the tube. But luckily I like strap it right onto my face really well, and I've got like a little Care Bear sticker on. In talks with people to try and get a more Natalie type sticker situation, because you can't get stickers that are really cool these days. It's really annoying. So yeah, so I wrote down points to cover. So I basically covered what it is, what it's for. It gives me my dinner, gives me food, because I don't really eat during the day. When I do eat, it's like a teeny little baby amount, and it's not going to sustain my life. So this tube keeps me alive. So I'll like gonna have to just get used to it. Also, I have green hair, which will be, it's getting hairdressered on Thursday, which is in 2 days. So it's in bunches. It's in pleats at the moment because I want to have curly hair for the hospital tomorrow, because they haven't seen my hair and I want to show off. That's what I do. I show off to my hospital peeps. So basically, getting the NJ tube was horrific. Like, I'm not going to lie, right? I watched YouTube videos constantly before I got it, because I was wanting to see other people's experiences, what they went through. And everybody pretty much got the, where they feed it down the throat through the nose, and they feed it down, you've got to like drink and swallow, and you're like gagging. And I was like, oh, that looks awful. Nope, not me. I had to get an endoscopy. So they put the camera down your mouth while they sedate you, but sedation doesn't work on me for some reason. So I was fully alert and awake for this. They feed the endoscopy tube down right into the intestines, so that's down, so it's hard to breathe. Then they feed this feeding tube down through your mouth, so it's nowhere near your nose yet, so it's down in your mouth. So to get this tube from dangling out of your mouth to out your nose, they put a like rope, like a thread, down your nose, down the back, then they grab it and pull it out, tie it to the tube, and then pull through your nose, pull it so it goes up to the back of your throat, flips around and comes out your nose. It was horrific. It was terrifying. I was so scared. I was crying my eyes out. I was not having a good time. It was really traumatic. Like, I was traumatized afterwards, and I still am. It was awful. So they've said that next time, because you have to get a new one in every 3 months, so next time I'm getting a general anaesthetic instead of sedation, because the sedation didn't work and it was really traumatic. So I'm getting general anaesthetic, so I'll be out, unconscious, boop, sleeping. And then they can do whatever they like. They can do magic, jiggly, jiggery pokery skills in the back of my throat. I don't care, because I won't be there for it. So the actual getting in was awful. After it, I could speak. It was fine. Like, I've seen a lot of videos and people are like, oh, I've got a really sore throat and it's like really bad. It's not. Like, if I could speak after getting an endoscopy, and one of my memories of getting the endoscopy was the woman was like being quite violent and moving it round in my throat. In my throat, 3 weeks. It's like just over 3 weeks ago I got it in. My throat still feels like I've been strangled really badly. So I don't know if I've got a sore throat, but it is bruised. Like, my whole throat is bruised. So I'm going to try and keep this video short and sweet, because talking really hurts the muscles. It's like muscular and sore. It's not fun. So swallowing medications, which is another big to do at the moment, because I take a bunch of medications, obviously, because I've got a bunch of things wrong. So I take tablets, capsules, pills, and I went to the doctors and I was like, can I have liquid formulations, because I know, and I've googled and I've been on before these medications, but in different preparations. So I know I can get it in liquid form or effervescent, so you put it in water and like fizz it up. So they're way easier, because when I swallow pills or anything really, unless it's like jelly or something, it gets caught in my tube, gets caught behind it, or it sticks to it, or it's quite hard to swallow. The doctor refused. She said that the painkillers that I was wanting, which I'm on, I've always been on them, they have too much salt in them, so I have to go and ask my endocrinologist to okay it, which is annoying, because I could really be doing with them just now, because she told me, my doctor, my GP told me to chew my cocodamol tablets. I have to chew my painkillers to dust and then swallow them. Like, that's a totally reasonable request. It isn't, not when you can just prescribe some liquid medication until maybe my throat isn't as bruised. But no, so I have to ask my specialist doctor to write a letter. I have to take this letter from Glasgow to the town I live in, which is like 40-minute drive or whatever. So I have to take this letter down to the doctor's, give it to the doctor, then have the doctor review that letter, then write me a prescription. This is going to take 3 days. So from me having to go to a hospital all the way back down, in this day and age, shouldn't ever happen. When there's mobile phones, there's email, there's so many ways that they could contact them and say, yo, give Natalie the meds that she needs, because it makes sense, she can't swallow. The doctor was saying, but why can't you swallow your tablets? And I'm like, well, because I have a tube now going down the back of my throat, and it makes it more difficult to swallow tablets. Yeah, but why? But how? And I'm like, well, I don't really know how else to say that I have a tube and it makes it more difficult to swallow. She also was a total bitch about my Halloween bag. She was like, you know it's not Halloween. And I was like, yeah, you know it's always Halloween, if you want it to be. And she's like, no, it's not actually Halloween. So she was being a little witch all day. I don't like that. I don't play that. So yeah, so I have covered the NJ tube pretty much. I think I've pretty much said everything that needs to be said on it, really. I have to flush it every 3-4 hours to make sure it doesn't get clogged, because it can get clogged, and then if it gets clogged, I have to go to the hospital and have an operation and get it all put back in. We don't need that. We don't have time for that. So yeah, I was in hospital for 2 weeks. I posted a video while I was in, but it was like an old video that I'd had archived. So I'm hopefully going to get back on watching movies and reviewing movies and making myself look pretty, because I don't look nice just now. And if you say I look nice, you're lying. But what else have I got here? I'm going to make other videos, like more in depth on medical storage and what's in my bag, because I have a big bag. I have 2 hospital bags. So I've got a day hospital bag, and I'm being kept in for a God knows how long bag. They have so much stuff in it that if you're going into hospital, you know someone who's going into hospital, or you might go into hospital, or you're like me and you're in hospital every single week with the prospect of being kept in 4 weeks, that video would be really helpful, because I'm 34, I've been diagnosed since I was 6 with chronic illness, and I've been going regularly to hospital ever since. So I have got it down. I never need anything. I know exactly what you need to make your trip as comfortable as possible as it can be in hospital, because hospitals suck, but I know how to make it a little bit better. And when I'm in, I do help the other people in my ward be comfortable too, and make sure that we don't catch diseases. Like, I give everyone antiseptic wipes to wipe their stuff down, and alcohol hand gel so that their hands are very clean, because I can catch infections all the time, and I'm like sniffling all the time because my body is trying to wash this tube out with snotters. So like when, say like when you get a new nose piercing or something and your body's like, I'm going to wash this out with, it's not, I don't think it is boogers, I think it's just water. Like it's just like water comes like streaming out your nose to clean it, because your body's like, we need to clean this foreign obstacle out of your nose. And so this is a foreign obstacle. And obstacle, is that even the word? I don't know. But this isn't supposed to be there, obviously. So my body's trying to clean it out, and it's not going to get it out. It's stupid. But some days are worse than others, and today I was out and it was like raining and stuff. So I think I've got a little sniffle from that, because, well, I was standing next, I was waiting to cross the road and a car came past, through a puddle and soaked me from head to toe before I had to go and sit in the doctor's for an hour, all damp and sad, because a car splooshed me with water. I was a dirty puddle. I was not impressed. So yeah, I've got other topics on my notepad here that I'm going to do videos on, and I have about 55 movies that I'm going to review that I need to really watch. A heap of clown movies, like movies with creepy clowns in them. I'm going to do a Scream, like the full Scream thing. I need to do a Blair Witch one, because if you're my age and you remember when Blair Witch came out, like younger people are never going to appreciate the Blair Witch like we did, because we had it on VHS video, and usually it was a knockoff. I lived in a tiny village and we didn't have anywhere to get videos from, and there was a guy in the village who got like pirate videos or whatever, and he loaned me it, so it was really like, it was like real. So then we get given it, everyone was told that it was real. You couldn't Google, because there wasn't Google, so you couldn't like Google, is this real or fake? You just believed it. You were like, oh my god, these people like were dead, they're like in Blair Woods getting witched and dying. So we totally believed it. So I need to do a video on that and show everyone like what we've seen as that generation that grew up seeing that and that kind of jazz. But I do got a lots of clown DVDs that I found in Asda, because in the bargain bins there's always like, I don't know, I think they like bring a new one out every month where there's like a killer clown. We'll not talk about Clowntergeist because I can't talk about it. It's bad. Sorry. Really sorry, I've never said that. I've never said that out loud, but I didn't enjoy it. The credits were brilliant. I really enjoyed those, but I love clown movies a lot. So I do have a lot of movies and I've got a lot of time on my hands because I can't really do much because I am stuck to this little bugger overnight, so I can't really do much. And during the day I'm usually really tired, and the days that I'm not tired I go out into the town and I like walk about just to get some air and probably spend money on tissues and washing powder, things that I don't actually need. Like I'll just go, that smells nice, I think I'll buy 5 of those, and then I end up with no monies and I'm like, oh no, I got no monies. So yeah, anyway, I'm going to sum it up. I'm going to finish this video is what I'm going to do, and snuggle into bed and choose a DVD. A good one. One I've not seen. Probably, I'm not going to tell you. I'm just going to review it. It's a surprise. So thanks for listening to me rambling on if you're still here. And yeah, I'll tell you more about this. I just wanted to come on and introduce you to the tube on my face so that you weren't surprised and you weren't like, what the hell have you got on your face? Like, you've got something on your face. I thought I would approach it and just say, yo, I've got a feeding tube because I can't eat with my mouth properly. So we have to like put it down a straw, and I only eat a tiny bit. I eat like ice cream with my mouth. But I'm a little bit swollen. I'm a little bit swollen today. My pharmacist asked me if I'd put on weight actually today. I was like, cheeky. No, I haven't actually. I'm just a little bit swollen from my steroid tablets. I got the moon face again. So thanks for being with me. Look at my face.